So I'm Julie Withrow, and it's Straight Talk Tuesday. And today I want to talk about why public relations, or PR, is a really viable tool for small business owners. And the reasons why, I'm going to distill it down into the 3 A's of why PR is important for you as a small business owner. One, it builds your awareness, makes more people aware of you and your business. 2, it builds your authority or your credibility. So it positions you as an expert in what you do. And 3, it is affordable. And by affordable, I mean it's, relatively free to use PR to get, mentions in the media about you and your business and what it is that you do. So to go back to the first A, which is awareness. So obviously, when you are a business owner, one of the hardest things to do, and particularly in the online space, but even if you own a local brick and mortar business, and if you're not on the main street where everybody can see you, you need to make sure that people know you're out there. And I really can't overstress that enough. Don't just assume that if you build it, they will come. If you hang a shingle, people will find you. I actually owned a brick and mortar retail store back in the early 2000s. And I had to really tell people I was there, that I couldn't just assume that they were going to find me. And even if they did, how many times do people need to walk or drive by your business before they notice, right? People are distracted. Hopefully they're not looking at their phones, but they're listening to their radios. They're just not really, they're not always paying attention to what's new, right? Whether that's online or in the physical world. So using PR to build awareness is a great tool. Some ways you can do that are, announce your new business. I was just having this conversation with a friend of a friend. I was kind of giving her some free marketing advice. She recently opened this really cool pet store where she does dog washing and sells retail pet products. And she's been in business for almost a year, but she has not ever told the local media, and there are community newspapers in her neighborhood here in Denver that would love to cover that story, and they haven't just found her, so she needs to tell them that she exists, right? So just there's a number of opportunities when you can really use PR as a small business owner, and that's one. Like when you have a new business to announce, particularly among the local media, they love to hear about that stuff, and they really need news stories to fill their pages or the screens if they're an online source. So announcing your new business is a great place to start. Another thing that you can do that's a great opportunity to use PR is if you're holding a special event, and particularly if you can make that event somehow newsworthy. How does it serve the community, or how does it serve an underserved population, or maybe you could partner with a charity and give a certain amount of proceeds from your event to a charity. There are lots of ways that you can use an event to generate media coverage for your business. Some other things, if you're in a product-based business, are to announce a new product. There's infinite ideas. In fact, there's a really good article about this that I'll post a link to here. In fact, I'll do it right now. That will give you a number of ideas that maybe you've never thought about, that are good times when you can actually send out a press release and announce some news about your company and get free media coverage for it. So let me pop that in the chat here real quick. 25 reasons to send a press release is what it's going to be called, and I'll put the hyperlink in here. So that's there. So anyway, I just want to encourage you to think outside of the box about how you could announce something to the media about your business to get some free media coverage. Now, why is free media coverage important? Well, it's the second A, okay? First A was awareness. You want to build awareness for your business, and PR can help you do that. The second A is it helps you build authority or credibility. And the reason it does that is because when someone else is talking about you or giving you a platform to talk about your business, it gives it third-party credibility. So it's not just you touting yourself on your website with your name on it or on your brochure with your name on it. It's a third party, the media, which whether you feel this way or not is perceived as a credible source, right? It's the media presenting you instead of you presenting yourself. So that builds your authority and it builds your credibility. Also, if the media, is willing to write about you, it implies that you are something newsworthy to pay attention to, and if they're willing to talk to you about what it is that you do, it also implies that you're an expert, right? If the media is focusing on you and talking about your business and featuring news on your business, well, then clearly you're an expert in what you do, right? So that's how PR can be used to build authority. Now, some ways that you can do that, you can certainly send a press release, but press releases tend to be more about news, events, like, really newsworthy current things, something timely that's happening. So some other ways that you can get mentioned in the media, a great resource is a source called Help a Reporter Out, or HARO, although I don't think that's what they go by anymore. I believe it's helpareporter.com. In fact, I will make sure that I'm sending you to the right place because I've been signed up to it for so long that I don't know. Yeah, it's called helpareporter.com. This is also a very cool tool that a lot of small business owners don't know about, but people like me who've worked in marketing my whole career do know about. And helpareporter.com, you sign up there. You can't go there to find information. You sign up to have them push you notifications. And they have a few different free types of notifications that they'll send you. And basically what they do is they aggregate all these media inquiries when the media are looking for experts to speak on a topic, or even when they're looking for people to submit a product for a holiday gift guide, like you're seeing a lot of right now. A lot of people, a lot of journalists, whether they're bloggers or big time journalists like the Today Show, US News and World Report, New York Times, whatever, a lot of reporters use this source, and or at least they get aggregated on this source, and you get notified about when the media are looking for experts to talk about certain topics. So if you are willing to do the work to review those emails, it really only takes about 2 minutes in the morning, 2 minutes in the afternoon to really review those. They'll send you notifications twice or 3 times a day. If you review those and see something that works for you and you're prepared to respond, it can be a great way to get a media mention. I'll give you an example that happened actually. This was probably 3 or 4 years ago. I was looking at Help a Reporter's notifications, and they were looking for families to comment on traditions that they did at the holidays to really create a sense of family and kind of get out of all the commercialism of the holidays. And I happened to be reading the notification. I sent them a response, and you have to be very strategic in how you send a response. That's a whole longer conversation, but follow the directions, give them exactly what they asked for, make it brief. They're busy people. But I answered her questions, and it all kind of happened very quickly. And then I actually was mentioned. I talked about how my daughter and I always do a Secret Santa thing every year, where we adopt a family to buy Christmas gifts for who might not get them otherwise, right? And so we got featured in this article in Working Mother magazine, and I still have it. In fact, I should have grabbed it and brought it for today's training. But that's how this works. So just imagine if you do that in your business, right? And you get a note, you get a mention that you're an expert in whatever it is you do, right? Whether you're some sort of a health practitioner, or you're a marketing consultant, or you're a virtual assistant to small businesses, you become positioned as this expert, and you get all this media coverage that you may not have gotten any other way, and for free, right? That's the beauty of it, which takes me to the third A of why PR is a really viable tool for small businesses. And that is because the A is for affordable, but it really means it's usually free. You just have to get your information in front of the right media outlet or the right journalist, and then they write about you for free. And as a business owner, particularly a small business owner, you're trying to do so many things. You have so many opportunities to market yourself, many of which cost you something, like traditional advertising or online advertising, or joining some directory or guide or membership organization. Everything costs you, but media is free. And so it's really worth paying attention to for that, if nothing else. But there's also the other two A's, the fact that it builds your awareness of your business and makes more people know that you exist and what it is that you do. And it builds your authority as an expert in what it is that you do. So those are the three A's of PR. It helps you build awareness, it helps you build your authority, and it is super affordable. So if you haven't considered PR for your small business, I highly encourage you to do it. A couple tips I'll leave you with. As I mentioned, if you're going to sign up for helpareporter.com, and you're going to respond to queries, be sure to be very brief in your responses. Journalists are really busy people. They're working on a deadline. They're looking for information quickly. So you have to give them a really quick chunk. You can't write volumes about how great you are or some long-winded response to their question. In fact, you want to write something in response to their question that is very succinct and a really nice soundbite. Say in like 2 or 3 sentences exactly the answer to their question, and be very clear, write it really well, because in many cases they will literally cut and paste that and publish it, and next thing you know, you didn't even hear back from them, but then you find out, oh yeah, you got mentioned in this article, and it's exactly what you wrote in your email, and here you thought you were just making a pitch, right? No, many times they will actually take exactly what it is you wrote and plug it in. So make sure you write a very succinct, something you'd be proud of to see in print or hear on TV. If you get that lucky, that probably isn't the most likely scenario, but you could see it in print or on your screen. So make sure it's something you're proud of. And also just a very short, like 1 or 2 sentences about why you're qualified to speak on this topic. And then also give them very clear way to get back in touch with you if they have any more questions or want to speak with you further, okay? So make sure you do that if you're going to respond to a helpareporter.com query. Second tip is around writing a press release. Make sure you research how to write a proper press release before you do it. There are plenty of tools online that will show you exact templates, but there is a format to write a press release that's effective. Again, journalists are busy people. They're working on deadlines. Follow the rules. It'll go much better for you. And be very strategic about who you send press releases to. Do not like spray and pray, is what we used to call it, where you just send it to a ton of media outlets and kind of hope that somebody picks it up. You're way better off picking just a handful, even one, if there's a particular medium that you'd really love to get into, a magazine, a blog, whatever that is. Even just picking one and writing a very tailored press release to that one outlet is way more effective, and you'll see better results from it. If you're doing something local, just hand pick the few places you want to send it. Take the time to do the research to send it to the exact right editor. Do not send a press release to more than one person at a media outlet. They really hate that. Take the time to try to figure out exactly who it is that you need to send that release to, and just send it to them. And do not send it to like 20, people in the email. Not cool, right? Make sure you write a very individualized, short, brief little email to each editor tailored to them with a very, succinct, properly written press release if you're going to go that route. So that is, well, I did pretty good today. That was like a 15-minute training. So actually, I think we're at 16 minutes. So just to recap, 3 A's of why public relations is important and a really viable tool for small business owners. 1, it builds your awareness so that more people know about your business. And that is always challenge number 1 as a business owner, is just people knowing that you even exist. 2, it builds your authority. So it helps position you as a credible expert in what it is that you do. so that when people are considering hiring you, it's not just you talking about what it is that you do. You've actually been mentioned in the media, which gives you a whole different level of authority. And number three, it's very affordable. Most of the time, it just takes you the time to research, read the queries from a source like helpareporter.com and write, very succinct, really compelling press release or response to a query. So if you have any questions about PR or how you might use it, feel free to pop them in the comments. And if not, I don't see any questions, then I am going to wrap up. Thanks for being here today, and I'll be back again next Tuesday.